Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you were there? Or struggled to recall a familiar name, leaving you feeling frustrated or even a little scared? You're not alone. As we age, it's normal for our minds to feel a bit slower, like a computer that needs a reboot. But what if I told you there's a simple daily routine that takes less than 6 minutes total to keep your brain nimble, focused, and even happy? That's right, just 6 minutes a day, broken down into 3 tiny habits I call the 3-2-1 daily routine. And today I'm going to walk you through exactly how it works, why it matters, and how you can start doing it tomorrow morning without turning your whole life upside down. Let's start with the 3 in 3-2-1. Imagine this. You wake up, pour your coffee or tea, and before you even check your phone or think about the day's chores, you spend 3 minutes doing something that sparks your brain to life. Think of it like stretching your mind the same way you might stretch your legs before a walk. This doesn't have to be complicated. Maybe it's flipping through a puzzle book, scribbling in a journal, or even reading a few pages of a novel. The goal here is to gently shift your brain from sleep mode to alert mode. Let me give you an example. My friend Martha, who's 82, started doing a crossword puzzle every morning while her toast was in the toaster. At first she thought it was silly. 3 minutes wasn't going to change anything, right? But after a few weeks, she told me, "I feel like I'm waking up faster. I'm not as groggy and I remember things better throughout the day." That's the magic of those 3 minutes. They're not about solving the puzzle perfectly. They're about giving your brain a reason to focus early. Now here's the science part, but don't worry, I'll keep it short. Studies show that engaging in mentally stimulating activities first thing in the morning actually increases blood flow to the brain. It's like turning on the lights in a dark room. And the best part, you don't need to be a genius to benefit. Whether it's Sudoku, a word search, or even just jotting down your thoughts, the key is consistency. 3 minutes a day, every day. That's all. Once you've got that morning spark down, let's talk about the 2 in 3-2-1. This one's my favorite because it's so simple, yet so powerful. After your 3-minute brain warm-up, spend 2 minutes practicing gratitude. Yep, just 2 minutes. Now I know gratitude gets talked about a lot, but stick with me here. This isn't about being overly cheerful or pretending everything's perfect. It's about training your brain to notice the good stuff, even on tough days. How do you do it? Well, you could list 3 things you're grateful for in your head: your favorite chair, a grandchild's laugh, the smell of fresh coffee. Or you could say them out loud, or even text them to a friend. One of my viewers, Henry, started writing 1 gratitude note a day to his wife of 50 years. He said it reminded him how many little joys he'd been taking for granted. And guess what? He started sleeping better too. Why does this work? Because focusing on gratitude actually changes your brain chemistry. It reduces stress hormones like cortisol and boosts serotonin, the feel-good chemical. And lower stress means better memory and clearer thinking. Think about it. When you're anxious or overwhelmed, your brain goes into survival mode, right? It's hard to focus on anything else. But taking 2 minutes to shift your mindset gives your brain a chance to breathe, relax, and function at its best. Now, if you're thinking, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, this all sounds too easy, I get it. We've been conditioned to believe that big results require big efforts. But here's the truth. Small habits stick. And these first 2 steps, the 3-minute mental warm-up and the 2-minute gratitude practice, are the foundation of your brain-boosting routine. Together, they take less time than brushing your teeth, and they're already setting you up for a sharper, calmer day. But wait, there's one more piece of the puzzle, the 1 in 3-2-1. This one happens at night, right before bed. Spend just 1 minute reflecting on your day. That's it. No need to write a novel or analyze every decision. Just pause and ask yourself, what went well today? Maybe it was finishing that puzzle, enjoying a phone call with a friend, or finally remembering to water your plants. Focus on the positives, even if they seem small. Let me share a story about my neighbor Clara. She's 78 and used to lie awake for hours, replaying every mistake or worry from the day. Then she started this 1-minute reflection habit. Every night she whispers to herself, "Today I made a delicious pot of soup. Today I saw the sunset." She says it's transformed her sleep and her outlook. "I'm not perfect," she told me, "but I'm learning to give myself credit for showing up." That's exactly the point. This nightly reflection isn't about perfection. It's about closing your day on a positive note, which helps your brain wind down and prepares it to recharge overnight. So far, we've covered the 3-2-1 daily routine. 3 minutes each morning to wake up your brain. 2 minutes during the day to shift your mindset with gratitude. 1 minute at night to reflect and reset. Together, these habits took less than 6 minutes of your time, yet they pack a punch when it comes to keeping your mind sharp and your mood steady. And the best part? They're flexible. If you're not a morning person, tweak the timing. If crosswords aren't your thing, try drawing or listening to music. The goal isn't to follow a rigid formula. It's to create moments of intention that add up over time. But here's the question you might be asking. Will this really make a difference? I mean, how can just 6 minutes a day matter in the grand scheme of things? Think of your brain like a muscle. If you lift weights once a month, you won't see much change. But if you lift even light weights every single day, over time, you'll build strength. The same goes for your brain. These tiny daily efforts might feel insignificant on their own, but compounded over weeks and months, they can help you think faster, remember more, and even reduce your risk of cognitive decline. And let's not forget the ripple effect. When your brain feels sharper, you're more likely to stay engaged in life, whether that's learning a new hobby, playing with grandkids, or even just keeping up with your favorite TV show. You'll feel more confident, more capable, and more connected. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. What if I forget? What if I'm too tired? What if I just don't feel like it? Trust me, I've been there. The key is to start small and build momentum. Put a sticky note by your coffee maker as a reminder to do your 3-minute warm-up. Pair your gratitude practice with brushing your teeth, 2 minutes, same time every day, and keep a notebook by your bed for that 1-minute reflection. These habits shouldn't feel like a chore. They should feel like a gift to your future self. In the next part of this video, we'll dive deeper into how to make these habits stick, even on days when motivation is low. We'll also talk about how the 3-2-1 routine can be paired with other simple strategies to supercharge your brain health. But for now, I want you to take a moment and imagine how these 6 minutes could change your life. Imagine waking up with a little more clarity, moving through your day with a lighter heart, and falling asleep with a sense of peace. The power of the 3-2-1 routine. So if you're ready to give it a try, I challenge you to start tomorrow morning. Set a timer for 3 minutes. Pick up a puzzle or pen and see how it feels. Then, later in the day, take 2 minutes to think about what you're grateful for. And before you drift off to sleep, take one final moment to acknowledge the good in your day. Remember, age is just a number, and your brain is capable of incredible things, no matter where you are in life. You've already taken the first step by watching this video. Now, it's time to take the next. Stick around for the next part where we'll explore how to turn these habits into lifelong routines and why consistency matters more than perfection. You've got this, and I'll be right here cheering you on. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Starting something new is easy. Sticking with it? That's where the real challenge lies. I mean, how many times have you said to yourself, okay, tomorrow I'm going to start eating healthier, or I'll finally organize that closet this weekend? And then life happens. You get busy, tired, distracted, or maybe it just doesn't feel like a priority anymore. The good news, you don't need willpower to make the 3-2-1 routine work for you. You need strategy, and that's exactly what we're diving into now. Let's start with the simplest and most powerful tool for habit building: anchoring. Think of it like tying a rope to something sturdy so your new habit doesn't float away. Here's how it works. Pair your 3-2-1 routine with something you already do automatically, like making your morning coffee, brushing your teeth, or settling into your favorite armchair at night. For example, if you always pour a cup of tea first thing in the morning, use that as your cue to grab your puzzle book or journal. If you brush your teeth twice a day, Use that 2-minute window to mentally list what you're grateful for. And if you always turn off the lights at 9:30 p.m., take that 1 minute to reflect before drifting off. By linking your new habits to existing routines, you're not fighting against forgetfulness, you're working with it. Take my friend George, for instance. He's 76 and swore up and down he'd never remember to do anything extra in his day. But then he decided to pair his 3-minute brain warm-up with his morning coffee. Every time he hears the coffee maker buzz, that's his signal to grab his Sudoku book. It's like muscle memory now, he told me. I'd feel weird skipping it, like forgetting to put on my socks. That's the magic of anchoring. It turns intention into instinct. But what if you're not a morning person? Or what if your schedule changes day to day? Don't worry, you've got options. The key is to pick cues that fit your life, not someone else's. Maybe your anchor is watching the morning news, feeding the cat, or even taking your medications. One viewer, Margaret, who works part-time at a library, started doing her gratitude practice while waiting for the bus. I used to scroll through my phone, she said, but now I just close my eyes and think about one good thing from yesterday. It's quiet, it's free, and it sets the tone for my whole day. Another secret to consistency: keep it visible, out of sight, out of mind, right? So make your 3-2-1 routine impossible to ignore. If you're doing puzzles in the morning, leave the book open on your kitchen table. If you're journaling, keep your pen and notebook by the bed. If you're reflecting at night, stick a sticky note on your lamp switch that says, "Pause and breathe." Visual cues act like little nudges for your brain. Hey, remember that thing you promised yourself you'd do? And here's a tip that might surprise you. Celebrate the wins, no matter how small. Did you do your 3-minute brain warm-up today? Great job. Did you remember to practice gratitude twice this week? High five. Progress isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, even when you don't feel like it. One way to track your streak is with a simple calendar. Hang one on your fridge, and every time you complete your 3-2-1 routine, put a check mark in the box. At the end of the month, look back and see how far you've come. My cousin's dad, Frank, started doing this and told me, "It's like a game now. I don't want to break the chain." That sense of accomplishment, that's what keeps you going. Now, let's talk about what to do when motivation dips, which it will, because you're human. Maybe you're having a tough week. Maybe you're tired, stressed, or just plain bored with your routine. This is where flexibility becomes your best friend. Remember, the 3-2-1 routine isn't set in stone. If crosswords feel stale, switch to reading poetry. If listing gratitudes feels forced, try drawing something you're thankful for instead. If reflecting at night feels rushed, try doing it during your lunch break. The goal isn't to follow a script, it's to create moments that feel meaningful to you. Let me share a story about Elaine, who's 80 and loves to garden. She used to feel guilty when rainy days kept her inside, but then she realized she could adapt her gratitude practice to match the weather. On sunny days, she'd walk outside and name 5 things she saw: a blooming flower, a bird chirping, the warmth of the sun. On gray days, she'd sit by the window and name 5 things she felt: cozy socks, a warm cup of tea, the sound of rain on the roof. It changed everything, she told me. I stopped seeing bad days and started seeing opportunities to notice the good stuff. That's the power of flexibility. It keeps your routine alive, even when life throws curveballs. But here's the thing. The 3-2-1 routine isn't just a standalone habit. It's part of a bigger picture. Think of it like the foundation of a house. On its own, it's strong. But when you add a few supporting walls, the whole structure becomes unshakable. Let's talk about how to build those walls. First up, movement. Now, I know what you're thinking. Exercise. But hear me out. You don't need to run a marathon or join a gym to give your brain a boost. In fact, studies show that even light physical activity, like walking, stretching, or chair yoga, can improve blood flow to the brain and enhance cognitive function. And the best part? It doesn't take much. Just 10 minutes a day can make a difference. Take Evelyn, who's 84 and used to dread her daily walks. "I drag myself out the door, muttering about my knees," she told me. But then she started turning her walks into a game. She'd count the number of blue cars she passed, or guess the breed of every dog she saw. It made the time fly, she said. Now I actually look forward to it. That's the trick. Pair movement with mental engagement. Whether it's dancing to your favorite song, playing catch with a grandchild, or simply standing up and stretching during TV commercials, the key is to get your body and brain working together. And speaking of working together, let's talk about nutrition. What you eat has a direct impact on your brain health, and the good news is you don't need to overhaul your diet to see results. Start by incorporating more brain-boosting foods into your meals. Think leafy greens, berries, nuts, and fatty fish like salmon. These foods are rich in antioxidants, omega-3s, and other nutrients that support cognitive function. One simple swap? Try adding a handful of blueberries to your morning cereal or oatmeal. Blueberries are packed with flavonoids, which studies show can improve memory and slow age-related cognitive decline. Or swap your afternoon snack for a small handful of walnuts. They're a natural source of omega-3s, which are like fuel for your brain cells. And if you're not a fan of fish, try chia seeds or flax seeds as plant-based alternatives. But here's the catch. Nutrition isn't just about what you add, it's also about what you limit. Too much sugar, salt, and processed foods can cloud your thinking and zap your energy. So aim for balance. If you're craving something sweet, reach for fruit instead of cookies. If you're hankering for chips, try roasted chickpeas for a crunchy, protein-packed alternative. Small changes add up over time. Another piece of the puzzle? Social connection. Humans are wired to thrive on relationships, and staying socially engaged is one of the most powerful things you can do for your brain. Whether it's chatting with a neighbor, joining a book club, or volunteering at a local shelter, meaningful interactions stimulate your mind and reduce stress. Let me tell you about Ruth, who's 79 and used to feel isolated after her husband passed away. She started attending a weekly coffee group at her community center, where everyone shares stories and laughs over pastries. It's like a mental workout, she said. You're listening, responding, remembering names. It keeps your brain on its toes. And the emotional benefits? Those are just as important. Feeling connected gives you a sense of purpose, which in turn fuels motivation and resilience. Finally, let's not forget about sleep. Your brain does some of its most important work while you're resting, clearing out toxins and consolidating memories. But as we age, sleep can become more elusive. The good news? There are simple ways to improve your sleep hygiene without drastic changes. Start by creating a calming bedtime routine. Maybe it's sipping herbal tea, listening to soft music, or dimming the lights an hour before bed. Avoid screens if you can. They emit blue light that disrupts your natural sleep cycle. And if you're lying awake for hours, get up and do something quiet until you feel sleepy. One viewer, Tom, found that reading a physical book under a warm lamp helped him unwind better than scrolling through his phone. I'm not sure why, he said, but it just feels slower, calmer. So where does all this leave us? The 3-2-1 routine isn't just about 6 minutes a day. It's about building a lifestyle that supports your brain health in every way possible. Movement, nutrition, social connection, and sleep aren't separate tasks to check off a list. They're threads that weave together to create a stronger, sharper, more resilient you. And the best part? You don't have to tackle everything at once. Start with the 3-2-1 routine and let that be your anchor. Then, as you feel ready, add in 1 or 2 supporting habits that resonate with you. Maybe it's a daily walk, a colorful salad at lunch, or a phone call with a friend. Progress isn't about doing it all. It's about doing what works for you. In the next part of this video, we'll wrap up by exploring how to stay motivated long-term and why celebrating your progress, even the small stuff, is key to making these changes stick. We'll also share a few final tips to help you adapt the 3-2-1 routine as your life evolves. But for now, I want you to take a moment and reflect on what you've already accomplished just by being here. You've taken the first step towards a sharper, brighter future, and that's something worth celebrating. So keep going. Keep showing up for yourself, one small habit at a time, because your brain deserves it, and so do you. Let's get real for a second. Life doesn't stop for routines. There will be days when your 3-minute brain warm-up, it's swallowed by a phone call from a grandchild. Weeks when your gratitude practice feels like an afterthought. Moments when your 1-minute reflection turns into a 5-minute spiral about why you forgot to mail that birthday card. And that's okay. Progress isn't a straight line. It's more like a winding path with detours, rest stops, and the occasional U-turn. The key is to keep moving forward, even if it's just one small step at a time. So how do you stay on track when life throws you off course? Let's start with the most important tool in your habit-building toolbox, self-compassion. When you miss a day or a week or even a month of your 3-2-1 routine, don't beat yourself up. That inner critic that says, "You've already failed, so why bother?" Thank it for its opinion and then gently shut the door. Research shows that people who approach setbacks with kindness rather than frustration are far more likely to bounce back. Think of it like falling off a bike. You wouldn't quit riding forever. You'd dust yourself off, but just the seat, and try again. Take my friend Joan, for example. She's 81 and had been doing the 3-2-1 routine religiously for months, until her daughter moved in with her newborn grandbaby. Suddenly, her mornings were filled with bottles and burp cloths, and her puzzles sat untouched. "I felt guilty," she told me, "like I was failing at something that was supposed to be easy." But then she reframed the situation. Instead of seeing her disrupted routine as a failure, she started using diaper changes as her brain warm-up, naming animals from memory games with her granddaughter. "It's not Sudoku," she laughed, "but my brain's still working." That's adaptability in action. Your routine doesn't have to look exactly like it did when you started. What matters is that it evolves with your life. Another secret to longevity: make it enjoyable. If your 3-minute brain warm-up feels like a chore, it's not going to stick. So experiment. If crosswords bore you, try coloring intricate mandalas or learning a few chords on a ukulele. If gratitude lists feel stale, write letters to your younger self or create a joy jar where you drop notes about tiny moments that made you smile. One viewer, Donald, turned his nightly reflection into a storytelling ritual with his wife. "We take turns sharing our favorite part of the day," he said. "It's like a free couples therapy session, and we both fall asleep laughing." When your habits feel good, you'll crave them like your morning coffee or favorite TV show. But what if you're flying solo? That's where community comes in. You don't have to go it alone. Share your progress with a friend, join a local club, or connect with others online. Social accountability works wonders. Plus, hearing how others adapt the 3-2-1 routine can spark fresh ideas. My neighbor Linda started a Brain Boosters group at her retirement community. They meet weekly to swap puzzles, compare gratitude lists, and even host reflection circles where everyone shares one highlight from their week. "It's like having a built-in cheer squad," she said. "We keep each other motivated." Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room: aging itself. As we grow older, our bodies and schedules change. Maybe your energy dips in the afternoon, making your morning brain warm-up feel impossible. Or arthritis makes holding a pen uncomfortable. Don't let these shifts derail you. Adapt. Sitting at a desk is tough. Try listening to an audiobook while walking or doing seated stretches during your gratitude practice. If writing feels stiff, use voice memos to record reflections or play memory games on a tablet. Technology isn't just for the young. Voice assistants, apps, and online communities can be powerful allies. And here's a truth we don't talk about enough: it's never too late to start. I've heard from viewers in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s who've embraced the 3-2-1 routine and felt the difference. One woman, Mabel, started at 87 after her doctor warned her about memory lapses. "I figured why not give it a try," she told me. "I'm not Einstein, but I can tell my brain feels sharper." And honestly, it's fun. Fun, that's the word we're aiming for. These habits aren't just about preserving your memory. They're about adding joy, connection, and curiosity to your days. Let's wrap this up with a quick recap, not because you need a reminder, but because it's worth savoring. The 3-2-1 routine is 3 minutes each morning to wake up your brain with puzzles, reading, or creativity. 2 minutes daily to shift your mindset with gratitude, whether through words, drawings, or actions. 1 minute at night to reflect on the positives in your day. Together, these habits take less than 6 minutes, but pack a punch when it comes to brain health, mood, and resilience. Paired with movement, nutrition, social connection, and quality sleep, they form a foundation for thriving at any age. But here's the real takeaway. This isn't just about keeping your memory sharp. It's about living fully. When your brain feels agile, you're more likely to engage with life. Whether that's learning a new skill, laughing with friends, or simply enjoying the quiet magic of a sunset. You're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. So, if you're watching this right now, I want you to take a moment and pat yourself on the back. You've already taken the first step by showing up and giving this a chance. That matters. And whatever comes next, whether you stick to the 3-2-1 routine exactly as described or tweak it to fit your unique life, you're doing something incredible for yourself. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's one small habit you'll try tomorrow to keep your brain sharp? Or better yet, share a story about how you've already started making changes. Your experience might just inspire someone else to take their own first step. And if you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future tips on staying vibrant, curious, and connected at every age. Remember, age is just a number. Your brain is capable of growth, joy, and resilience even now, even today. You've spent a lifetime building wisdom, strength, and love. Now it's time to invest in the habits that let you enjoy every ounce of it. Here's to living your best life, sharp, present, and full of wonder. You've got this, and I'll be right here cheering you on.